Welcome to Unholy Encounters, my segment on the Underworld Diaries, where we dive deep into the darker side of drag, artistry, and everything in between. I'm your host, Samara Hex D'Angelo, and today we have an incredibly special guest joining us. Today's guest is a Florida icon, a designer extraordinaire, a wig enthusiast, a spooky lover, and the owner and creator of House of Mystic Entertainment. Please welcome Cyte.
Hello. When you were reading that off, I was like, wow, I did do all that.
Yeah, you've done a lot. You've done a lot. How does it feel to own all of that?
Looking back at it, it's like I've really come a long way since I've started my drag career, so I'm kind of proud of it. And the funny thing is the list goes on because there's so much more that I do and have done, so I'm like, wow. I never really take the time to give myself credit.
Well, I can tell fans, thanks to this one, she helped set my career in the career of wigs. Without her, I would not have these styled wigs that you guys like on Samara over here.
Praise Jesus.
So if we look, and we have so much to talk about, can we dive right into Inferno Confessions?
Okay, let's just hop right into it.
So you are not only a representative on the Pride Board for Melbourne, or is it Cocoa Beach?
It's Space Coast Pride in its entirety.
Space Code Pride Board. But you also started your own drag tournament, the Mystic Tournament. What inspired you to create your own drag competition? How has this platform allowed you to amplify your drag and give back to the community?
If we're being honest, what inspired me to create the Mystic Tournament specifically, I don't have many places here that I can go to locally where, unfortunately, and I was competing in a competition in Tampa, and there's nothing like that over here. I mean, you had Drag Race Live in Orlando and stuff like that, but the Space Coast and the surrounding areas really didn't have any type of competition, like an extended competition. Like they had like one night little, oh, who's gonna win this, or talent comps and all of that, blah blah blah. But like there wasn't anything that really continuously pushed, artists and gave them different variety of challenges to overcome, and like it just felt like it was a good thing to do because a lot of the alternative artists on this side of the coast don't have a place to fully represent themselves, and I wanted to create a place that flourished that.
How does it feel looking back at what happened with House of Mystic Entertainment and all of the stuff that you have accomplished?
Wait, say it again? What's the question?
No, you're sorry. Let me break this down. How does it feel to looking back at House of Mystic Entertainment and the Mystic Tournament, what it did accomplish for Space Coast?
I do think, House of Mystic is a little different from the Mystic Tournament. Yes, because the House of Mystic is something that I created with my sisters here locally, in order to create alternative spaces and just other more productive nights of drag and inclusivity and sisterhood, really. Like, it was for the community, because that's where I met my sisters, was in the community. And therefore, I want to give other people those opportunities to do so.
Talking about family, your mom has been a strong supporter of your drag career. How has her unwavering support impacted your journey? What does it mean to have that close bond with her?
To be honest, it's actually been a long time coming. My mom and I have had a little bit of a separation after I turned 18. And coming back together, it was really nice because obviously she's my mom, but to also have her so involved in my drag career, it's like making up for lost time. You know what I mean? It's like all those things we didn't get to do growing up, or do together as mother and son, we're actually able to work on things together. So like when I did Drag Me to Hell, we worked on all my outfits together. Everything I did besides maybe one outfit was made from scratch. So it was a kind of like not just like a testament to our work, but a testament of our relationship during the competition. So I'm really glad to have her support, and I'm glad that she's still around because, not a lot of people can overcome adversity with their parents, especially in our community. So
Yeah, it's good that you guys got like closer and stuff. Like, I never heard about like that 18-hole story. So
yeah, there's a lot of secrets to Parasite that people don't know about. And it creates the person I am today, and to be honest, I could tell a story that's for a whole nother podcast, a whole nother thing. And, but I don't make any excuses for what I've been through, and that's why I am how I am now. So
it's good we have this interview so you have your platform to speak your mind.
Right.
So another good close relationship with you was Miss Albie Dame. How did this relationship come about, and how did it impact your drag journey?
Oh, child. I listened to her interview, and she was cute about it. No, I'm just kidding. We actually met at a pool party that I was throwing. We were there with two completely different people. They were actually there with my drag daughter.
I heard the first part of that pool party story when I interviewed Albie. I never heard like the second part, which was like your part.
So, well, my daughter Clitori, she was talking to him at the time, and she had brought him. We had met a couple times before, but I never realized it in the time because it was at the nightclub and I was probably drunk, so whatever. He had said that I'd given them lap dances a few times, and I was like, okay, I guess so. You say I did. I hope it was good. Make sure you tipped. But then we came and had a pool party. They were off to themselves. One thing about them is when they're unsure of an environment, they like to sit off to themselves. Me being the person that I am, I have a host or like Mother Nature, not Mother Nature. Why the heck? Like a mother instinct kind of thing. Like, or I'm the host of a party, so I'm like over here, like, oh, make sure everyone's good. Everyone's good. But there was just something. It was like an energy exchange, I think, with him. It was something that really made me want to sit and have a conversation with them. And ever since that day, we started texting, I think, the next morning, and we really just never stopped talking since then.
Yeah, now did they start drag because of you, or was it something else?
Well, they said it was because they've been wanting to do, like, they wanted to do it, so that's what they had said. I can't speak on it. I mean, I can't speak on that. I mean, I know they like to dress up as some of my clothes, honey.
I've heard that story.
Mm-hmm. I've had to buy some new outfits. They claimed it for their own. They said, you ain't using this anymore.
It's called when you can't give it to Goodwill, you give it to your partner.
If it's a good old Miss Albie Dame.
Yes.
The queen of Goodwill, honey.
So,
just kidding.
So, speaking about your drag, what became like your true calling to it? Like, can you describe the epiphany that shaped the art of drag at Parasite?
Ooh, you want to know all of that? Excuse me. Well, honey, that is a story. I used to dabble in drag when I was in college, like when I was a lot younger, like in my early 20s, just here and there. I wasn't real serious about it. I did a few shows, but then I kind of stopped for a while. You know what I mean? And then I was always a fan of like Drag Race and stuff like that. And I remember I was watching Drag Race, and there was a lot of queens in there that I was like, well, if they can get on there, well, then I could definitely do stuff like this. I could be successful at this. If you can look like that and get on RuPaul, I have some talent. I have some things I want to show you.
Yeah.
And so, I just never like knew where to start. And then 2020 hit, and it forced me into isolation, obviously. And so I worked on literally figuring out how to do drag. That stimulus hit, and I was like, okay, what can I do? What do I need? And I was like, this is my perfect opportunity to kickstart my drag. and I started practicing with makeup. I actually started drag on TikTok, and I was Paris Fakaname for a long time, and I was doing really, really well. I could see myself growing. I was getting a really good following on TikTok, and then I ended up leaving my ex from Georgia, and I moved to Florida. Took a little bit of a break, and then I went to a local bar, which I'm not going to mention their name because they do not deserve any of that. Fuck that place, and I can stand by that till the day I die. I don't give a shit. Because I'm what petty. Anyway. Oh no, but that's part of the story. Let's get into it. You want to talk about it? Okay, I came down to Florida. This is the creation of Parasite. Okay. Paris Fakaname, when I started my drag, I was very artsy. I did a lot of different things. I didn't do your typical cookie cutter drag. I was making my face look like it was half off of my head with a demon look underneath.
As everyone starts out.
Right. I was doing freaking lips, all this crazy crap, and it never was the same. And I ended up coming to Florida, and I ended up in a local bar. And I had a bunch of people that were supportive of me at first, and then I won a couple talent nights, but then I started going to this bar for like a year, right? And I was doing talent nights every single Thursday. I was winning a lot of those nights, and I was being told, oh, you'll get bookings here, you'll get bookings there, whatever, blah, 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 right? Yeah. Never got them. Then I met some of the most amazing people of my life. I met my drag sisters, Priestess Lolita. I met Reptilian Anderson, Roxy Fox. I also will attribute to her the shaping of who Paris is.
Was Scarlett in there too?
Scarlett's not in there yet. Scarlett comes into the story a little later because it was originally me, Priestess Lolita, and Reptilian who all kind of came together, and we created what was, in the beginning, House of Mystic. Because at the bar that I was at, I was not having the best experience. I was being ridiculed for a year. I was being led on. I was having all this whatever. And then I realized, well, maybe I'm not meant to actually be here. Maybe I was just meant to meet my sisters. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. So I was like, whatever. And then, we created this amazing bond. So truly what had happened there no longer matters. You know what I mean? So I went on my own business. We created our own nights. We went to other venues and started new shows. Okay? And it was honestly some of the best nights of my life since I moved to Florida. Since I left all of my bullshit back home and I came down here, it took me a year to find them, but I finally found what I was meant to find in Florida. You know what I mean? And that was my drag family.
You found your close drag family, which helps.
Right. And then we had Pride that year, Space Coast Pride. That's where I met my sister Scarlett. Oh, honey, the story's like, all I have to tell you is imagine me in my clown drag and my polka dot dress, her with her half of her face melting off, and we just look rotted drinking cocktails at 6 p.m. because Pride had done us in, honey. And that is why she is my sister to this day. You don't meet a friend like that and not keep them around.
we heard a lot about like your kind of stories on the interview that actually comes out this week, but for when I post her interview, should be the next week. So following for spooky fans, if you guys do want to check out part 1 to Scarlett or Albie's story talking about Paris, check this one, check that one out, and then check this one out. That'll be part 2. I'll fill in some blanks.
And funny thing is, at Pride, we met, and then we had our Christmas show at the attic, and then I actually tore my hamstring at this other bar that I worked at. So it was just like maybe this is my time to like go somewhere else for real. Like I took that as an omen. I was like, whatever. Got blacklisted by this bar because I was doing my own stuff, right? And I just wasn't doing what they wanted me to do. And so I was like, well, whatever. I'm with my sisters. Let's do this. And I went and I applied for Drag Me to Hell, I think, and it was like February or March. And then I met my drag daughter Sapphira, actually, in January. And I met my other drag daughter in March, Clitoria Glamour, because she came to one of our shows at the Dunes in Cocoa Beach. And honestly, it has been inseparable since.
How did Larvae get in there, by the way?
Larvae came into play, I would like to, this year, actually. Larvae, we met Larvae the end of last year, and they were also alternative to the core. You know what I mean? They've never once come out trying to be anything that they weren't. They were definitely their own spirit, and I noticed that, and unfortunately, in the venue we were at, that's not appreciated. It's not valued the way that it should be valued. And I saw that, and when I decided to do the Mystic tournament, I had reached out to them and asked them to be, like, I wanted them to be a part of it. And when we started talking, I started to realize, like, hey, we have a lot of, like, similarities. We think alike. Like, we're funny. You're funny. Like, just the way we interact. And I was like, why don't you want to be part of our drag family? Because we're a bunch of, outcasted queerdos. Like,
yes.
Why not join us? Like, and honestly, they are some of the greatest company that you could ever have as well.
Yeah, they're one of my very best friends over there.
Mm-hmm. They tell so many stories with their drag that it is impressive, especially for someone who's not been doing it for super long. They really do know how to tell a story, and it's inspiring to watch.
I do, like, if I can end this off on, like, a good note for my fans out there, I do not take the Cyte family name, but I've always considered Paris to be one of my moms.
Allegedly.
I was the one that was giving up, okay?
I thought you were a Monroe. Let's spill the tea.
Alyssa's filming. My mom is actually filming her own movie right now, so.
Oh yeah, I heard. Come on.
The next time I see her, it's probably gonna be my birthday weekend.
Oh, Dave and Buster's, honey.
But mentioning, if we go on to the next question, which you did step into a little bit, how has the evolution of the drag scene over the years influenced both your career and your personal growth? What changes have you noticed, and how has that adapted to stay at the forefront of the scene for you?
Well, being the only double blacklisted queen that still gets talked about on a regular basis, I'd like to say that, you know what? I wouldn't change a damn thing, and it's. I mean,
you don't have to at the end of the day. You have your own career.
I have my own career. I'm doing my own thing. I'm a traveling girl. Florida ain't it for me, girl. So, like, if I'm at this point where if I've never met you and you're spreading my name to people, the infection is spreading, baby. Mm-hmm. I'm letting you know that you're doing the job for me. I don't have to say anything. Honestly, for the last 6 months, I have been sitting in my I have been sitting in my trailer, minding my business, prepping for some pageants, getting my mind correct, because mentally, I've just not been with it, honestly. All the bullcrap that's been going on in the drag community, it's just not good for my mental health. So I've been taking a step back. Somehow, I'm still the center of conversation. So take that to the bank, because, I definitely am.
It's like World War III in Florida, all happening all over again, but in the gay scene.
Right. But honestly, here's the tea, though. I'm going to keep doing what I do till the day I die. I'm not here doing what I do to impress anybody. I'm doing what I do to express my art. And I'm a very straightforward person. And I've noticed in Florida that's not the best thing to be, but I'm not going to change who I am. Mm-hmm. Like, there are people that look up to me as a person because I stand firm in what I believe in and what I do. And I'd be letting those people down if I succumb to all the negativity that's going around me and allowing it to affect my career. Like, yeah, I know there's stuff going on. I know that there's drama everywhere. But you know what? I'm not here for that. That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Hell, I may not even be here for that much longer. Catch me while you can. So, at that point, it's like, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
So with the next question, because you kind of already answered this one, the biggest challenges you face. So let's start when we grow up in PA. So growing up in Pennsylvania and later moving to Melbourne, how did your early experience shape your drag persona and your career path to where you are now?
I think, actually, growing up in Pennsylvania, that's why I am such a hot-headed, direct, dare I say, almost confrontational person. I'm very emotional too, but a lot of things that I will attribute to my Pennsylvania upbringing is I finished what I start. You know what I mean? And I like to get things done. I work for what I want. I don't expect it to be handed to me. That's why I go and create my own nights, because I'm trying to build my own stamp. I want to say, because no offense, you can go to other people's shows and do all of that, and it's good to support your community. I'm not saying don't do that, but like, what am I leaving behind? And that's really where I was at with it. It's like, I care so much about this that why I'm not doing it for other people. I'm doing it for myself. I'm here to leave my stamp and what it is for me, and I stand by that.
Yeah. Stand by your own drag, and we've seen a lot of stuff come from Paris too. Especially these amazing outfits, which I'm gonna bring up like the next segment.
Oh, is this one of these fashion boots and toots, honey?
We're not there yet. If we're gonna take our break first before then. But the last question before we do take our break that I do want to ask you is, looking back on your entire journey, what would you say is your proudest moment in your drag career? Like, what accomplishment or milestone stands out as the defining moment of your success?
If you want my honest opinion, Drag Me to Hell showed me that I was capable of doing so much more than what I thought. I do attribute a lot of the push in my drag and the creativity to my time with Devil's Den, doing the competition, and all the sisters that I met through that as well. But this year, it really rung to me, if you want me to be honest, when I was taking a step back and really processing everything and trying to figure it out, I think that part was a huge milestone for me. Not just as a person, not just as a drag artist, but as a person, because a lot of the times we get swept up in forgetting that underneath our drag, there's people that need to be taken care of as well. Mm-hmm. And I would not have been able to continue doing drag in a healthy way for myself if I didn't take a step back and really be like, refocus, reevaluate yourself, understand that you're acting out, you're being dumb, like, you need to come back to earth for a second and really figure out what's important to you again. Mm-hmm. And it's that self-criticism and that self-accountability that I'm so proud of myself, because before, say, like last year, I would have never have looked at myself and been like, hey, you check yourself, bitch. Like, you something's wrong here. Because in my head, admitting something's wrong meant there was something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, there was a reason for people not to like me. There was a reason for all this animosity. And you have to get away from all of that. And not many people are able to take that step back and be like, I can't be good at my drag if I'm not taking care of myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
that, I truly do think that was a big milestone for me in my drag career, because as soon as I did that, I released I went and I did a photo shoot to kind of refocus my mind. I wanted to create a look to represent how I truly felt in this moment, when it comes to drag and just my experience here on Earth, I went and I did a photo shoot with Black Rose Photography, and I created my own gown. I styled my own hair. I did my own makeup. Like, I did everything myself, and I just wanted to be like, this is me. This is what I need to express right now.
Yeah.
And the picture speaks for itself. I really have been feeling like an alien lost in a dance room. You know, like, I've just really felt like I'm doing this human tango with a bunch of people, and I'm forgetting that I have expression too, that there's a light that I need to honor. So, I think I did that.
You also done a lot of stuff, like, and I wanted to take this time before we go on our break. Thank you for doing all the stuff that you do, not only for the community, but also me and Kendall as well. Because honestly, I was at the point until you told me to look back and take a step back from drag. I was at the point of quitting as well.
Do you mind if I speak on that part?
Everybody knows about it now, so.
Right. And, you know, everybody has their moments. And the one thing I will say when it comes to you and Kendall specifically, I do feel as though you two were not given the correct space in order to actually own up to what was going on. The reason I had the conversation that I had with you during the Mystic tournament, which we'll keep private, but it really stems from, you have to understand that nothing is ever what it is. It's always what it appears to be, and whatever people feel it is. And it's very, very unfortunate that is the case when it comes to our drag community, because we really should be here to build each other up and help each other through these times. And times where people are in the wrong, where we know someone was in the wrong. We're not going to rehash it because it's not needing to be. But there should have been more grace, I feel like, instead of people just attacking and attacking and attacking and being like, this person said something mean, this person said that. When at the end of the day, if you're not willing to hear their grief, their apologies, you're not willing to hear any of that, then that's unfair to the person trying to get through this, trying to move past it, trying to make it better. And there was a time where I had lost a little bit of faith, because it was like, we're literally in a cancel culture right now. We're canceling everybody. And you're literally telling people you don't deserve the right to be anywhere and express yourself or do anything because you hurt somebody else's feelings. Let me tell you, there are show directors in our community here in Florida who are predators. There are people that are assaulting people who aren't held accountable ever. And the people that speak up against people and are literally outwardly saying, I need help. Somebody please help me. This isn't right. I don't feel good. We are attacked. And it is not fair. It is so not fucking fair. And so that's where I do believe, and I stand on my part where I say, shit, you needed to take some accountability, mama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I had that conversation with you, because I'm going to be a real ass bitch and come have that conversation with you. I'm not going to go talk to a million other people in this community to come up and hate you because I had a bad experience with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I saw that happening. And there were people that may or may not have... I saw people making comments online saying, I've never met them, but I've heard some terrible shit. Okay, well, you've never met them. So don't pass judgment on somebody that you've never met. You don't understand where this side of the story is coming from. You don't understand where this judgment is.
Yeah.
Hell, you don't even know enough about this person to understand that they even did drag. And you already are passing judgment on this person because somebody else said that they're a shitty-ass bitch? It's awfully shitty of you to judge someone that you have never met in your life. And that's what I stand on, because I'm going through the exact same thing. I was told not long ago that I have tons of show directors who will never hire me or any of my drag family because of me and my family standing up against a venue that abused us for 2 years.
Yeah, really?
Now I'm blacklisted by people I've never met? You've got to be kidding me. That's not community, and that's not what community should feel like. and I rest my case without getting too shady and too nasty towards certain people, but I just feel what really needs to be happening in this community is a lot more compassion and a lot less judgment and a lot less isolation, because if you want to get technical, if we didn't have the community we have now, we'd all be in some kind of shit, because the government doesn't want any of us here. If you want me to be real transparent with you, us fighting amongst ourselves does everybody else a great favor, because then no one's going to take any of us seriously. We fight so much within our own community for what? You don't like someone's drag? Then don't book them. Yeah. You don't like someone's attitude? Don't talk to them. But I know you're surely going to talk about them, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to talk to them. You're not going to have this conversation with them.
It's like, I think it's like more of, I talk about this all the time, and during the interviews I've touched on this too, but it's more about, I feel Florida needs more empowerment, and we haven't seen that yet.
We haven't. And if you want me to be honest, it's sad. It's sad because we have so much to give. I feel like Florida has a lot to give. There's so many artists that I have seen throughout my time here that they are amazing at what they do, and they deserve that opportunity to shine. But due to the drag politics within our own community, they don't ever get that opportunity. Yeah. They don't ever have that time to shine. And then the moment they speak up and say, well, where's my opportunity? They're like, oh, you should be grateful that you even have an open stage. What do you... And then they're talked about and taught like they shouldn't be given the opportunity. And it's like, what? That's not what drag is about. Mm-mm. Like, my OG drag mother, may her soul rest in peace, Mama J. Stevens, literally was the reason I'm here to this day. When you want to talk about the 18-year-old who was left behind, that drag queen came and swooped me up off the street and said, your mom messaged me saying, I know what's up. I got you. I got you. You need anything? I'm right here. They saw me spiraling out of control, freaking out, all of that. You know what they didn't do? Say you're not welcome here. They wrapped me in their arms and they said, I know, baby. I know. Let it out.
And that's what I'm grateful for from, like, that's what I'm grateful for from not only, like, one of the strongest people that have always, like, been there for me and did the same, like, besides my own drag family, is you. And you've done a lot for me. Like, you saw the good side of me. I'm still waiting for the day when we could just drink and just do wigs together.
Girl, if I start drinking, I may not be doing any wigs.
So at what point did you decide to take the leap and start your own drag entertainment business? I know we touched on this a little bit, but what motivated you to do this on your own?
I was motivated with, like, how close my relationship was with my drag sisters. I felt like we deserved a space to twirl, and so I wanted to create that space, and that's what I did. That's what House of Mystic started, was as a sisterhood creating a space for the rest of the community, basically. Mm-hmm.
And then we get to, from there, so we get to the Mystic Tournament, which became an event for the drag community, especially in Cocoa Beach and Melbourne. So we touched on it, but what were you think? We touched on what started it, but what, like, besides the biggest challenges and the drama, how did that turn into a close-knit family group after?
I think kinda with all of us, I kinda think being in the people that stayed were the people that were meant to stay. The people that are still, like, if we're being honest, like, I don't even really know what to say on that, to be honest, because it basically boiled down to being a competition for the Cytes, because everyone else quit. Everyone else dropped out. Everyone else was like, I'm done. And they're like, okay. I'm like, And I get everyone has a reason for why they did. I mean, Clitori moved back to Pittsburgh so she couldn't compete. The other person we shall not speak of that caused all the drama in the first place with one of our judges. And then somebody else quit because of health reasons. Someone quit because of a job. So it was like, I mean, we didn't have eliminations this season, but the eliminations happened the way they were meant to happen. And top 4 was the top 4. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, I mean, everyone had an experience, and I feel like that's really all it was. What it was meant to be was an experience.
Yeah. So we get into. Actually, it's actually time for the next game because we just touched on this question about the evolution of the drag scene actually already when we were piggybacking with each other. So we can share my screen again. Okay. Share screen. Okay, so before we get into this game, let me explain how this game works.
Oh.
So now we know that a host and a queen like you can sometimes be shady. But let's have fun with it. We're going to play a game I'm calling Mystic Mirror. I'll show you some looks from other queens and performers you know, and I want you to give us your honest and drag take as Cyte. But there's a twist. After you critique each look, I want you to imagine how you would have styled it differently. What would Cyte do to elevate or transform the look?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
First up, I have one of my best friends, one of your youngest drag daughters, Larvae.
Yes. This is actually from the photo shoot we were late to. So, I absolutely love this hair, and I love the makeup with this hair. I also did this hair. I love the leg split. To myself, I don't necessarily like the outfit itself. I like it as a piece, like a base piece.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to talk about how I personally would have elevated it, I probably would have added more chains in the waistline or on the top part. And I probably would have wore fishnets on my arms, like to give more of just a slight elevation, not too high of one, especially since this is more of a demure photo shoot. But other than that, I really like the look. It's really hard to not be copacetic with this look because it is, you got the draping arms and it gives that depth to it. It's form fitting. So all in all, it is a good look. It's a very good look.
So now we go on to our next look that we have up here. We have Ginger Ale.
Oh my god, I love Ginger Ale, if we're being 100% honest. Oh my, and my mom loves her to death too. Somebody came up to me at my open stage actually and looked at me and he says, "Oh my god, Ginger Ale?" I said, no, absolutely not. Pepsi. Okay. Just kidding. But no, this look specifically, oh my god, because I love what almost feels like a boudoir moment, and this is very much giving a sensual vibe, and I love that. I really do love that. I love the ruffle coats. I don't have a ruffle coat, and I wish I did. I love the sculpted hair very, very much. Over and all, I really do like this look.
Is there
especially
anything...
with the background. And the galaxy look, after my own heart, I didn't see this galaxy look. Oh my god, that is so gorgeous. Okay, yes, I love that.
So as Cyte, how would you have taken this look?
How would I have elevated it from this?
Yes.
Again, I'm a big person who likes chains and jewelry in my waist area. So with this look specifically, I probably would have added some leather. A little bit of leather straps and stuff like that to mix in with the lace. Because it'd be more of a lace and leather for me. And arm jewelry, like I said with Larvae. I really I love jewelry in my stuff.
Yes.
So, I always feel naked without something on my arms or something around my waist.
Yeah, that's more of me too. The Kendall's always when he's designing for me, he's like accessories. Accessories matter.
And the hair. I don't know if I love the hair. I wouldn't do much different with the hair because I love that sculpt job. It is so cute. So maybe, like, honestly,
you're actually getting me into sculpted hair now.
Right. I'm telling you, you might want to order that mystery box pretty soon, honey. The one that my sister just did, I did that in 30 minutes. I sculpted that in 30 minutes.
It only takes that long. I gotta look up sculpted hair.
More than that. This one I literally had to speed do. I speeded this one. I would have done this so differently if I wasn't speeding, but
yeah.
I had to trust my instincts, and it came out gorgeous.
Well, let's move on to our next one. We have one of your icons, Apollo Affinity.
Apollo Infinity. This is honestly one of their most stamped and iconic looks that they've ever done. This is actually the look they used for our promo for Drag Me to Hell. And if we're being honest, I love this look overall. And again, this is another thing. I would have bet maybe the only thing that I would have done to elevate it myself is some jewels in the waistline. I'll say it again. I want waist jewelry.
You love your accessories.
Waist jewelry. But the thing with this, though, the whole look here, they have the drippage on the neck, which I really, really like. They have the cuffs that are different on their arms. There really isn't much I would do differently with this look, if we're being honest. Me personally, I would do bigger hair, but that's because I don't do drag king. I do like big hair all the time, or sculpted or whatever. But this literally looks like I'm about to do an interview with a vampire.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's perfect. And another thing, too, that I do appreciate, the fact that the way that it's corseted, it really shows off, like, their body in a perfect way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, like, perfect proportions.
It's proportionate, is what I should say.
Right.
So then we move on to... You know exactly who this is. You want to tell our fans? You know exactly who this is.
That's my sis!
Sister.
This is swimwear at its finest, honey.
So this is Reptilian.
This is Tilly, honey.
Yes.
Well, yes. I'm not laughing at her, I swear to God. This look is, why did you pick this one? Is what I'm wondering. They have so many good looks, and you picked this one.
I told you, I'm just picking random fucking looks out of the box.
Well, let's just start with waist jewelry. The only thing is I think I love the edit overall, like, aesthetically, because it really does. It's giving wet lizard, like a water kimono dragon, like, you know what I mean, like a water lizard, and I really do like that. You is shady for picking this. You are very shady for picking this picture, because there's not. It's a bathing suit. There's nothing. I can't. It's just swimwear. Like, that's what it is. Now, I don't know, just jewelry. I just add jewelry to this, because you can't really elevate a bathing suit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it serves the purpose that it is for what it is. Their body looks amazing, so there's no shade there. Jewelry. I would want more jewelry.
So then we get into, after Reptilian, we have one of your other daughters, Clitori.
Oh. Does anyone see the pictures that we're critiquing right now?
They can't see it because, like, Kendall's gonna take it and edit it.
This is.
I told you this was a shady game.
Wrecking the fields, honey. Fiona has found her frolicking spirit. Well, she did that, and she will continue to. No, the thing that I do love about this look is you can tell that they were just living and having some fun with it, and so that's where I'm at with it.
Mm-hmm.
The dress is really a pretty dress by itself. So the way that they paired everything, the only part that's really throwing me off with this look, I do think, is the hair.
Yeah.
The hair is the only thing that's really throwing me off because the necklace with the gown itself looks good, and as you can tell, they're wearing jewelry. There's a bracelet. I live for that. You don't have to have tons of jewelry, just an accessorized piece. So that part I do like. What would I have done differently? I wouldn't have worn that dress or that hair, but only because it's not my aesthetic.
No, the way you said it though made it sound so shady.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it for multiple times. But the thing about it is I'm like one of those people that we were having, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if I think it looks strange. I even told them, I said, maybe you should ask to have the Taurus symbol behind your back. And they were like, well, I'm not doing that. And I was like, girl, okay. Are you trying to give 10s? Because you look like a 1 and that's a 0, honey.
Well, we do have one of my other very good friends, I believe. Well, just as actually your very good friend next. Can you tell the audience who this is?
This is Sonia Eclipse. Oh my god. Let me tell you, this picture is so fucking pussy. I am in love with their drag. I love them as a person. I've watched them grow since they started doing drag, and their first gig was Drag Me to Hell with me. So, like, the experience we've gotten to have, plus watching them grow, all that they've been through, it's just amazing to watch. And this look is really, this is like it's like their homecoming. You know what I mean? Like, this is really giving me that this is their homecoming. It is accessorized perfectly. I love the ruffle sleeve, the nice jewelry around the neck, the perfect up angular eye, the updo. Like, to be honest, I'm really loving this look. The only thing that I would really say is more jewelry. That's in the waist area. But other than that, I live for this. This is very glam, very good, very pussy.
So after Sonia, you know exactly who this is, who I call one of my very good Judies over here, Scarlett.
Scarlett in the orange dreamsicle dress. Actually, there's 3 of these dresses. I own one, she owns one, and Sapphira owns the other one.
It's pretty amazing.
I love this. The body's looking good. She looks good in this dress. The hair is up. I like the hair. I love it. I love the glove. The only thing that I will say that I would want to do a little different, I would add some jewelry because the jewelry is black and the gloves are black. Mm-hmm. So I would want some shine to go with the arms. You know what I mean? So, like, I would want some bracelets that shined. The makeup's... I wouldn't say anything about the makeup because her makeup's actually pretty good here, too. Yeah. Maybe a little blending, but I think this is actually after we've been sweating and working, so that explains that.
That does tend to happen.
Right, that does happen. And the only thing else is I would hide that strap. For the bra strap.
I see what you're talking about. I was trying to figure out where the strap was.
Yeah, because the dress itself, because it is crushed velvet, it doesn't need much jewelry around the waist. It kind of serves like the eye appealing itself, and with the feather down the bottom, it's good. She has the jewelry on her chest, and like I said, the sleeves that tie in the black together. Mm-hmm. Because I think if you remember correctly, I did a look the same day in that same dress. I incorporated my black gloves and all of that. So we were all trying to give like the same kind of look together. Which I love.
The Mystic Girls at their finest.
Right. The Cyte family at it again. Oh, bitch.
Who is this, Paris?
Let me tell you something, Miss Medusa. When she showed me this promo look, I ate every bit of this up. There is not a single thing I would change about this at all. She is giving me that porcelain masquerade, like, mask that you saw in your great-grandmother's bathroom everywhere. Okay? Like, this is serving it. This is serving it for me. Serving it. Maybe some waist belts. I don't know. Maybe some jewelry. Put some bling bling. That's it.
So after Medusa, we have the one you were just talking about. This is the only good photo I can find of like Lolita, though.
Oh, that was shady. All her pictures.
I can't find them on like Facebook or Instagram. I think where I was doing it was on Instagram.
Well, they do have several accounts, so it's possible that that was just a step one. I actually made this edit for them, and this is from the photo shoot that we did for the Mystic Tournament, because she had helped me conceptualize the tournament and put it all together. Mm-hmm. And she was going to be a judge, then she ended up moving to New York. I love this look. There isn't really anything else that I would change about it either, other than maybe having some arm jewelry.
Yeah.
Because she's got a necklace on. I love the way the chest is exposed through the lace. It's very, like, seductive and demure. And then there's, obviously, with all the fringe and dangling, like, in the way that the bodysuit is, it's adorned. You know what I mean? And if it's not adorned, it looks adorned. So there's really not much you could do to add to amplify the look to this, except for, like I said, maybe some arm jewelry. But that's it. So it's really, really good. I love this edit.
This is my best friend this time. Yes, this is one of my better best friends, like, / like, drag daughter, Sapphira.
I think this is the worst look ever. I think she's a bad seed on this earth. I really just don't like her.
Okay, in all seriousness. What do you think?
What? I love her. Love her. I'm just kidding.
I know we like to shade each other all the time. That's why I said in all seriousness.
No. I do like this look. She's always good at turning out looks. I love that this really does. And I'm going to tell you this. She showed me the picture that inspired the look that she got this dress from. And she went and said, this is what my inspiration is. And showed me this dress. And I said, this looks damn near identical to the dress. And I love the peekaboo cheetah print. This is actually, believe it or not, multiple pieces. This is a pantsuit, bodysuit as well. The skirt is an addition to it. So, like...
Yeah, see, I couldn't tell it was a bodysuit.
You couldn't tell, because that's how well it is constructed. Shout out to Roman... I didn't know if I was supposed to say their drag name or their whatever. Shout out to Ms. Lewinsky, honey.
Yes.
Because she's the one that did this dress. And it is phenomenal. The hair matches too, which I like. She never likes wearing big hair. So if there's only anything that I would do differently is I would have bigger hair.
I think the only time I've seen her wear big hair, there was one time that's the only time.
But other than that, she likes to wear some sculpted stuff. You know what I mean? Like the ponies or like some really curly exotic hair. Like, so that's really her vibe. So this is staying true to that, and I do like the aesthetic look all together.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only thing I would do differently is some bigger hair, and I would have stoned it maybe, but I like shiny stuff. But overall, this is sickening. I love the look.
Well, with that, that's her last look. The last notes I do have.
The last one?
That has been Mystic Mirror. Paris, you've absolutely dazzled us with your insight and creativity. You've achieved so much in your career, inspiring countless people around the world with your artistry, passion, and dedication. And as you continue to shape the future of drag, what's next on the horizon for Parasite? What new challenges and dreams are you looking for the most?
Well, I do have a few things kind of brainstorming and getting into the works for some new projects to be working on now that I'm kind of taking a step back from being involved in the community so much. I'm still doing my pride work and being on the board and doing all that. I do my community work, but instead of being physically involved and, like doing all these performances and all that crap, I've really been stepping back and trying to focus on what I want to do next and what's my next move, what is the evolution in my game. And sometimes the best route to go is back to your roots. So,
yes.
I'm gonna do what created who I am today and what started me doing the big things I did. I gotta go back to what brought me to this. So, just know if you've been following me since I started back in 2020, there's gonna be some cool new things coming. Especially now that we have a whole family of sites ready to take over, you know what I mean?
Our fans would love to see it. Let's see. So I do have Paris. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you not only here on my podcast, but you are a trailblazer in the world of drag. You are also a beacon of inspiration and empowerment for so many. Your work in fashion, wigs, and performance is nothing short of legendary. It is clear that your influence will continue to grow. I'm going to give you my own crown here, right? You are truly the queen in my eyes of fashion and of hair.
Ooh. Okay. Let's make some hair to put that crown on.
Is there anywhere where our fans can follow you?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's all the same. Paris.Cyte, and that's PARIS.CYTE.
And to our fans, I will be sharing it in the background, and I'll also tag her, so keep look on those pages as well.
Thank you for having me, honey.
I will say this before I go, my last note from you. To all of our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for tuning into another captivating episode of Unholy Encounters. This has been Parasite, and Samara, she is now signing off.
Captain Hook out, honey.